Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. So glad you're joining us tonight because we have a full show with some really fun guests tonight. And starting it off are some very fun people. I have one of my favorite returning guests, Wee Win. You are the founder and executive director of Metro Toy Drive. It's good to have you back again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We
we
were talking. You were one of my very first guests ever when I started hosting this show, and here you are, still going strong, going stronger every year.
It's been some time.
And you've brought a lovely guest with you. We have Madeline Monlux, who is a child hero in your Child Hero program. Mm-hmm. Nice to have you here, Madeline.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks. So, why don't I start with you a little bit? For those who may not yet know what Metro Toy Drive is all about, it's kind of obvious. It's obviously involves toys, but why don't you share with us what you do and what you're trying to accomplish this holiday season?
Sure. So Metro Toy Drive is a Oregon nonprofit organization, and we're based primarily in the Portland metro area, and our primary mission is to promote the collection and distribution of donations, toys, and books for kids in need year-round.
Year-round,
But
yes.
Of course, the holidays before us, so the big season is here, and we pretty much go out there and do what we can at least on a grassroots level and make a difference for families and kids who need the help.
That's great. And how many families, do you have any idea how many families you were able to help, or how many kids you were able to help last year?
Last year, during the holiday season, it was over 4,000 at least.
Wow. That's a lot of kids. That's a lot of kids. Do you even know that many kids? And Madeline, how are you involved with this whole program?
Well, I'm a child hero, so it's a really fun program because it's kids helping kids, and we get to collect and donate toys to kids in need all year round.
That's great. Now, this isn't your first year doing it, though, is it? You did this last year.
Yeah, it's my second year.
Yeah. So are you much more poised and you know how to handle this now? Because you seem pretty calm on TV. Has it been a growing and learning experience for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like when you first started last year? I mean, what did you think, and did you know what you were getting into?
It was really fun because I got to see so many families and I got to help so many people. And at the warehouse day, that's where all the toys were there, and we get to distribute them throughout all the families. And there was this one lady who had about 6 or 7 kids, and she was a single mom and wasn't making much money, and I got to donate lots of toys to her and her family, and she started crying and just told me that she was so thankful, and it was a really fun
really
experience.
good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you find, Madeline, that helping other people like that maybe makes you feel at least as good as they feel?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love putting a smile on their faces.
See, that's a great thing. And and I think it's a great thing, that you have kids involved in this. I think that's a really important thing, to get kids understanding how important it is to give back to your community, at any age, and to make that part of your life. So, what got you started doing the Metro Toy Drive? Why toys?
I love that question. The Toy Drive is such a pretty amazing story, actually. It was birthed out of the economic downturn that we had a couple years ago in my former profession, when my business wasn't going so great. Instead of sitting there and, I suppose, having a bit of a pity party, why not go out there and make a difference and help the community out? So, sitting down with my mother at the dinner table, I asked her, "Mom, what should I do?" And she really encouraged me to volunteer to help out kids, and I connected with a local toy drive charity, and I volunteered for them that first year. This is back in 2009. And after that, I found how absolutely galvanizing this cause is for the community, how it can really cross over so many different parts of the community, and from individuals to organizations, from for-profit businesses, non-profit businesses, and I was just really amazed and impressed with how everyone came together to really put aside their differences to make a difference for kids in need. And I said to myself, I got to keep doing it.
And so you have.
Yeah.
This is a 4th year?
Yeah, this is, well, I've been in the industry since 2009.
Okay.
And then Metro Toy Drive came about, established in the holiday season in 2010.
This is a lot of hard work, and if I remember correctly, you are still volunteering this as part of your time.
Yes, that's true.
But it's still rewarding, huh?
It's very rewarding. It's definitely challenging at times.
I'm sure.
To pull it off, but it's worth it. I think that the work that we have done and that we will continue to do is very indispensable to the communities in which we operate. And there are a lot of organizations, and of course the families, the kids at the end of the toy drive process cycle are the ones who really benefit the most. And I believe that if we weren't around, there would be a lot of families that would go without a good holiday.
Yeah, and that would be really sad.
Yeah.
I think one of the things I like about Metro Toy Drive the best is that you not only distribute toys to kids in need, but you help out other nonprofits who are struggling to be able to serve their kids. Is that still the case?
Yes, absolutely. So our organization, we distribute primarily via two modes. One, we operate to enable other nonprofit organizations to help them achieve their missions and goals and objectives as well, and primarily ones that serve kids in need. And then we also have starting since last year, distributing directly to families in need as well. Learning the process has been quite the adventure, you know.
I bet.
It's not exactly a how to start your own toy drive manual out
There wasn't a manual out there for that, huh?
No.
Well, you may be the one to write it then.
Yeah.
Or maybe Madeline can help you do that.
Absolutely, she's been great.
How many child heroes are there, Madeline?
There's 6.
6 of you? And it's all around the Portland area? Is that? So what exactly are you going to be doing? I know you talked about giving out the toys at the warehouse, but what else do you do?
Well, we get to collect toys, and we get to have our own toy drive at the end of the year around Christmas time, and there's Santa Claus. The kids get to take a picture with Santa Claus and also
fun.
get to help other kids.
So where do you have your toy drive then?
At Starbucks.
At Starbucks. So Starbucks is your major sponsor, is a major sponsor, is that correct?
Yes, they've been absolutely terrific. They have provided a lot of support, and not just them, but a lot of other
So
organizations
who else
too.
is working with you on this?
Well, beginning with Starbucks, we also have organizations such as the Amy Roloff Charity Foundation. Amy and her organization have been absolutely terrific. We have folks from the Frontier organization, Zipcar, and there's a host of other businesses as well.
Good,
They've been
good
at the
deal.
O'Loughlin trade shows. They've been absolutely wonderful.
Good. I imagine if people want to find out who all is involved, they can go to your website. What else can we find out on your website? Can you tell us on the website how people might be able to donate or become involved in
Yes.
your organization?
Yes, probably the best way to support our efforts is really, our toy drive is running now, the big toy drive, and it runs from November 12th through December 24th at all the company Starbucks in the Portland metro area. So you'll see a toy donation basket, and we really encourage people, individuals, organizations, businesses, if they can run a toy drive on their own idea or however they like to do it to promote it, or even if they're just an individual, they want to go out and purchase a new unwrapped toy, just to drop on by the Starbucks and donate in the basket.
So, Madeline, how do you do your toy drive? It's at a Starbucks, at a company Starbucks?
It's at a Starbucks, and there's like a Santa Claus, and if you donate a toy, you get to have a picture with Santa Claus and get some hot cocoa.
So where is your Starbucks that you
It's at, where is it?
It's at
this year?
the Johnson Creek
Oh, okay.
location in the
Okay.
Clackamas area.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, each of the child heroes get their own Santa Claus Day. It's really fun.
Oh, fun. That sounds like a great time. Do you, and don't you have other things, are there other things that you do during the year? I mean, when do you just get together at this time of year, or do you meet throughout the year? How does that work?
Yeah, at the end of each month on Sunday, we get to have a meeting, and we get to talk about what we're going to do, and we also get to donate to hospitals, like children's hospitals a lot.
Good. That must feel really good.
Yeah, it does.
Do your friends, what do they think about you being involved in this?
They think it's really cool.
Do they?
think I'm a nice person for that.
Yeah, good, good. And hopefully maybe you'll encourage some of them to do the same thing, you know, to give of their time. What do we need to know about this year? So you have the toy drive is going on now, or it's going on. We can distribute the toys, or we can donate toys now. You have a couple of kickoff events, or what's going on at the different Starbucks? How does that work?
Well, the toy drive is pretty much in many ways on autopilot. So between November 12th and December 24th, at any Starbucks location, you can definitely please visit and drop off a new unwrapped toy, book, or donation. And really, in terms of an event, the major ones that we have are That's what Madeline was referring to, the Child Heroes Toy Drive events. There's 2 of them. There's one on December 7th and one on December 8th. And there are 2 different locations, one in the Starbucks Clackamas Crossing, which is the Johnson Creek area. There's also the Starbucks on Nyberg off of I-5, as you can probably see on the screen here.
Oh,
and so,
look, and there's the Child Heroes.
yeah,
right
there they are. There's 6 of them. They're really amazing. There's Madeline right there, and all the other kids. But yeah, it's great. We really like this event. We love this event, I should say, because it's a chance for the kids to really put their abilities, their creativity, and their skills to a great benefit for the community. So they actually get to help orchestrate it, and it works out really, really well.
Good.
And community they can come to these events and donate toys, and from there, what will happen with the toys is that they will be delivered to our warehouse facility where they're sorted and inventoried. And later in December, we'll have a primary distribution day, and that's where we invite other nonprofits to come, and of course individuals too. We actually have 2 different distribution day events, and they'll come and arrive and they can receive the toys that we collect during the season.
I was lucky enough to be able to join you at the warehouse in Beaverton last year, and be there and kind of help check people in while some of the nonprofits were coming and collecting toys. It was a wonderful event. That's where I got to meet you. So that was great. So tell me, do you have any personal stories about somebody that you've met that's really, I mean, Madeline told about the woman who was crying with all the kids. Have you had any experiences that have really touched you in doing this work?
I'll tell you, there have been quite a few, and probably the most amazing stories really are the personal requests that our organization receives. So I read them, every single one of them, and we get a lot. And being of course a toy drive nonprofit organization, it's sometimes challenging to respond as quickly as we can to all of them. And I've seen a lot of stories, and I listen to and I read what a lot of these parents are sharing about what they're going through in the community, and
It's tough, huh?
there's a lot of challenges out there, a lot of grief, and we would probably never realize it, but a lot of these families, they push their stories out there. They put it on the line saying, this is what's happened to us, and can you help us? And we want to be able to say yes to as many as we can, and it takes a while though, but we're working as fast as we can.
Good. And I think it's important for people to know that you do this year round.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not just at holidays. So what do you do with the toys the rest of the year? If you collected toys in April, what would you do with those toys?
We, on a monthly basis, oftentimes a lot with the Child Heroes here in our program, we go out and we help to distribute them, and primarily we find places in the community where they could utilize them year-round, such as the hospitals.
Okay.
The children's hospitals, like Dornbeckers, Shriners, Randall's.
Give nice toys like this sweet little bear here.
Yes, one of our little mascots.
He's so cute, and he's so soft. We're just about out of time here. Is there anything else, Madeline, that you think, what would you like to tell the kids that see this? What do you think is important for kids to know about doing this kind of work?
Well, that everything that's even little makes a big difference, and they should get involved with their community.
Very well said. I don't think you could do much better,
I couldn't. She's going to be the next the big toy drive person on the block.
Well, on that note, I'm going to close. Thank you both, Madeline and Wee, so much for being here. And thanks for the hard work that you both do. You're really making a difference in our community.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. And don't go away. We'll be right back. We have more wonderful people here who want to share what they're doing in the community. I'm Monica Weitzel. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Community media is priceless.
Valuable.
Community media lets you tell your story to fit your needs.
My favorite thing about community media is it's got to be the people's shows.
I think my favorite one is Karaoke Oli.
Oh, Karaoke Oli's a good one.
We sing live karaoke on TV for an hour.
Hamster versus Monster.
Nap Time with Kittens.
Community media brings programming like Chambers of Commerce, the Faith Community.
Psycho Chicken.
Do you have any UFO shows?
No, I wish we did.
I would like one of those too.
Yeah.
Children's programs, high school sporting events, and of course the ubiquitous city council meetings.
Only when we hear from folks in their own voices with their own stories can we truly connect.
Have you ever wanted to create a TV show of your own? Come check out the basic editing class at MetroEast. Our trainers will give you the skills you need to flex your creative muscles. Using our state-of-the-art IMAX and Final Cut Pro 10, you can work with your own videos, add graphics and music, and even drop in cool special effects like green screen and slow motion. The best part? No experience is required. All ages and skill levels are welcome. Find out more on our website at metroeast.org.
KZME Radio is a new station that is committed to entertain, inspire, and connect our community through programming that celebrates local music, arts, and culture. It was created to put local music and local arts on local radio, and it is a vehicle for our creative community to gain exposure while also celebrating what the Portland metro area has to offer.
Hi, I'm Ellie Wesley, and I love KZME because it's a great resource to find out about awesome music in our community. They have hip-hop and pop and chamber folk and pretty acoustic music, and they have everything that we have in Northwest. You should support KZME to support these local artists and the awesome music that you can find.
For more information on how to support and get involved with 1071 FM KZME Radio, see our website, www.1071fm.org. KZME Radio, music where you live.
Back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And now I'm going to be speaking with a couple of leaders of our community who are very involved in making a difference, and they want to share with you what exactly they're doing and how you can help. I have with me Casey Ryan, who's the Vice President and Branch Manager of Riverview Bank. Yes. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Bess Wills, owner and General Manager of Gresham Ford.
Hi, Monica.
It's nice to see you again. Yeah, you know, we get together every once in a while on TV.
Yeah.
It's all good. So this year, again, you are both involved with the Fill a Bag program, and this is a benefit for Snowcap.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me about it, Casey. What's going on this year?
This is the 4th year of the Fill a Bag program, and Riverview Community Bank brought it over. It was originally we're headquartered in Vancouver, and Vancouver has this thing called the Walk and Knock. And so
the walk
and knock, and what people do in the community is they put bags of groceries.
Walk and knock.
Yeah, walk and knock.
Sorry, I was putting all one word there. Walk and knock.
And they put bags out, and people, go out, and it's a big community thing. And Riverview was part of that, but not the driving force. But Riverview has branches up the gorge, up in White Salmon, Goldendale, Stevenson, and they wanted to do something similar to Walk and Knock, so they came up with the Fill a Bag, and so they did it up there, and so for about 9 years they've done that. Well, 4 years ago, I was like, well, we could do it in Gresham. And since
and things were starting to get kind of bad financially, the recession and everything, and it was
it was a good timing. And plus, I developed a pretty good relationship with Bess, and I got my workhorse here. You know what I mean? Because believe me, this thing doesn't work without her. It doesn't. So
good relationship. That's a good
thing.
Yeah.
So I think she owed me a favor, and I don't remember what it was. But so we've done this for 4 years now, and we've raised $175,000 the first year, $300 or so the second. 750 last year.
You're talking money? We're
talking pounds of food.
Okay, that's what I was
which
saying,
money's
yeah.
involved in that, and Bess
Yeah.
can detail some of that. But so we're going to go from 750,000 last year to 1 million pounds this year.
Wow, you're confident, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's a lot of food.
Well, it's a lot of food, but there's great need.
Yeah,
Monica.
tell me about that.
Well,
are you
you
able
know,
to, I mean, is there
even
that
though-
much need?
Even though, the economy is getting a little better and we hear things that are getting better, unfortunately, some of the programs that a lot of the, those on the fringes of our community have relied on have been cut back.
That's right.
So, there's been great need in the last couple years just because the economy was terrible, people couldn't get jobs, and you would be surprised the people that took advantage of SNOCAP's, services.
People that never thought they would be in that position.
Yeah. I mean, there's always been, the people on fixed incomes like senior citizens and so forth, and obviously, families, that have, with a lot of, medical issues or something like that that have used those services. And that's one of the fabulous things about SNOCAP is all of the pounds of food or the money equivalent of that stays right here in our community. There's a lot of great programs out there, but this one is, 100% of the, the money raised to buy the food stays within our community.
So whether or not you're donating food or you're donating money to buy
Right.
food, it could be the person who lives right down the street from you.
Could be.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Or
so
somebody that you ride the bus with or
Yeah,
whatever.
oh, yeah. You'd be surprised.
And so when Casey talks about the pounds, yes, we've talked about this before. A nickel buys a pound of food. The SNOCAP can buy a pound of food for an average of a nickel a pound at the Oregon Food Bank.
So really, it's almost more beneficial to donate money
Correct.
and let.
And that's why the
you buy
last
the
2
food,
years
yeah.
when, we finally figured this all out, is that after I went and had my grocery carts loaded and loaded and loaded and blessed Judy Alley, she said, Bess, that's a wonderful thing you did to fill out up all these barrels of food.
However.
But had you given us the money you spent on this food, we could have bought a lot more food.
Yeah.
So that's why these bags are going to be distributed in the Oregon,
No,
the
the
Outlook
Outlook.
and the Gresham
On
Outlook.
Tuesday. Tuesday the 18th.
And they all have this
Fill an envelope.
envelope.
Yeah, fill an
So
envelope.
so you can fill the bag with food, which would be great.
Yeah.
But even better would be to fill this little envelope
Yeah.
with some money.
And it really important is that no donation is too small. I mean, seriously,
If a nickel can buy a pound of food,
a
then
dollar
yeah.
could buy 20 pounds of food. So
Somebody does some good shopping.
$2.50. They say a family of four they service a family of four for an average of 50 pounds a week. That will sustain a family of four.
It may not
eat
eat like kings, but they'll
it'll be
they'll get by.
sustainable. And so for $2.50, in that envelope, you really could feed a family for a week.
I was talking with the Metro Toy Drive right before you, and we were talking about how it's great to have kids involved. And, $2.50, I'm sure there's a lot of kids out there that have some allowance that they could put, in there. And what a great way to teach them how to give back and help people that are, in need, or maybe some of those school groups can get some people, donate some of that money and fill up those envelopes.
Well, my passion's with the kids. I mean,
Yeah.
I have my daughter's in 4th grade and my son's in 8th, and just if you hear about the food insecurity issues, and what food insecurity is I bet today you didn't worry about eating lunch, right? Okay, now you might
didn't
have
have
worried
time to,
about,
but I did.
But you knew
But
you
I could,
It was a
yeah.
choice,
Yes,
right?
yes,
I mean,
it
I can
was,
eat, I
absolutely.
can't. Like I
Right.
mean, I fretted about where I was going to eat today. That was my biggest concern around lunch.
Which place do I eat at? Yeah.
Can you imagine not knowing if you were going to eat? I mean, and these children, literally, on Fridays, they have lunch. And a 3-day weekend is not good for some kids because that could be the only meal they know for sure they're going to get. Now, I'm not saying they go all weekend without eating, but a little kid doesn't know.
Yeah.
And then a single mom working has to decide if she's going to eat, and then these are
probably
real
giving
issues.
up some meals so that our children can
Exactly,
eat.
and these are real issues. And what I like about SNOCAP is that it's an emergency food bank is what it is. Now, you can't. It's not an ongoing thing. Like they only give a couple of food boxes a year to some people. Now, if you have a letter from your church or from a social service group, they have other programs and you can get more of that. But because I was meeting with the Outlook today and they were asking me about I said the baby food formula. That's
That's
they
probably
can't
huge,
and they can't
huge
buy
need.
that. Snowcap can't go to the food bank and buy that, so they have to
So
buy
if,
it.
if you're gonna fill a bag, maybe that's
Yeah.
what you should fill a bag with.
And so the lady from the Reporter was like, "Well, they have WIC for that." And I go, "You're right. What Snowcap does is bridges that gap from the abused mom who finally left and can't get WIC yet. They bridge that gap until
Yeah.
WIC kicks in.
Yeah.
So when I made that point, she was like, "Oh, I get it."
Got it.
Because
Yeah.
you know, how many people stay in relationships because they're worried about those kind of things, and that's where Snowcap comes in.
Wow.
So everything that's given, the dollars and all that goes, you know, and to me, my passion's the kids. My
Right,
passion's
right.
the single moms. My
Right.
passion's those. But other people have other passions. And like, I tell people like today, like instead of spending the $10 you were gonna spend at lunch, just go home and eat and donate the $10.
Yeah.
You were gonna spend it anyway, so
Right,
now
right.
$10, you
You can buy a lot.
200
Yeah.
pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
200
You
pounds a family of 4 for a month.
Yeah.
And how amazing is that? And you brought some pictures too. I don't think they've shown them yet, so we can
Okay,
take a look at
yeah.
those. And it was probably from last year's Fill a Bag program, which it's been more successful every year,
Yeah,
right? You've
yeah.
been doing better and better. And
We have more businesses and more. We have the Gresham Rotaries involved and the Gresham Lions, Breakfast Lions group, and we have businesses. And we say, like with Best does promotions around Fill a Bag for a win-win for Gresham Ford, right? So they sell more cars, they get more people in. Fill a Bag makes more money.
Right,
You know,
right.
Riverview does a good job with that. So there's so many people involved.
It helps
you
a
know.
lot. It helps a lot to get the business
Yeah.
community
So
involved in that.
last Friday, the Chamber of Commerce had their AM at our dealership, and we did a drive for the school, or drive for the community,
All right.
excuse me, to raise money for Snowcap. And so we did 80 test drives at $20 a piece, and so that's $1,600
Oh my
basically
goodness,
that,
that was just like
you
that.
know, can happen.
And what
Yeah.
is this? This is
That
this from
is
last year?
that was the AM, the Gresham Chamber
Oh, okay.
AM at the Gresham branch, Riverview. The ending of it. The one on the right is that was the first year we did the Fold a Bag, because that was at the dealership before where Bess's new dealership is now, which is absolutely beautiful. And so those are 70 to 80 people folding these bags
Oh, my
right here
goodness.
and stapling on here so they can go in the Outlook. So
Wow.
that is a community event that's just, I mean, it's fun too, really. I mean, I
Yeah,
had more,
it probably would be, yeah.
Well, I had
Yeah.
tons of people today at Rotary that really, they had a lot of people there last Thursday helping, and they were talking about how much fun it is. The one on the left, that was Bess and I,
Last year.
no, 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago.
2 years
okay.
ago.
Okay.
And then the one on the right was probably the same.
Yeah.
Had a different haircut then.
And wearing your suit and tie. Like
Yes,
that,
I
right?
was,
Yes.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
I
And
don't-
so people can drop off the food that's showing and dropping off at Gresham Ford, but they can drop it off at Riverview Community Bank, either at your Wood Village branch or at the branch on Burnside. And
I
you
think
can
last year we dropped off ours
Right.
at your place,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know you're close right
Yeah,
around
you
the
can
corner.
do there
so,
too, yeah.
and the Outlook, you can drop it off at the Outlook, or
that's
you can
close
drop
too.
it off at Stamp Connection in downtown Gresham, or you can drop it off at Greater Gresham Baptist Church. And
lot
then
of
we have a
good,
lot of
easy-
other sites,
easy
a lot of
places.
other
Yeah.
people. Alter Eagle Salon has a barrel. Advanced Care Chiropractic has a barrel. Gresham Family Chiropractic has a barrel.
Wow.
this is us
me.
playing NASCAR driver right now.
Yeah.
I like to think that.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Nancy's Flowers, All About Automotive, Les Schwab, Hoppy Brewery, Curtis Ben Don't, Dentist, and Hood Avenue Market. And then there's cash donation jars in Bella Cupcakes, Cascade Athletic, Landmark Tax, at Clear Channel, again at Jazzy Bagel, Cafe Delirium, Accent on Attitude again, Jay Gilletti, and Creative Visions and Landscape, and at Central Market.
Wow. Oh,
So-
that makes it easy.
Can
That
I
makes
tell you
it
the
really
vision
easy.
of this thing is? Okay.
Why don't
so-
you tell me, Casey?
Okay. So
I have a feeling
Gresham wants to be, we need to be known for something, right? every community wants to be known for something. You think, okay, that's my vision for this whole thing, and it could work. Okay, right now Gresham High School is doing a fun food drive for Snowcap, and churches are and all that. So maybe in the next 2 months we raise 3 to 5 million pounds. Maybe that's what we're raising as a community, but nobody knows because everyone's splintered off doing all this. How about everybody just did it under Fill a Bag? How about every single year, start of November to the end of December, that we raise 5 million pounds for our neighbors?
And then it's written up
But we
all over the
could.
country
That's right.
for
And,
what.
they
the
come,
wonderful
you know what I
thing.
mean? And they come
Yeah.
to us. And it's like, okay, honey, it's November. Okay, fill the bag. What are we going to do? House parties. People doing, I mean,
Yeah.
this whole
Last
thing.
At your
year-
Christmas party
I
or
think
your
small, as you can
holiday
tell.
party, you know, just have people, instead of bringing, you know, gifts to exchange,
Yeah.
you bring.
Last year we had a
Bring it up.
bunco group do bunco for
Really?
fill a bag.
That's fun. That's fun.
And this year, Focus Branding is doing, they do promotional products.
yeah.
So they put a little bag, which is a miniature of this. I wish I'd brought one tonight because it's really, really cute. Anyhow, it's a miniature fill a bag, and it has all these little promotional products in it. And they're asking people to give them $5 for the bag with a flashlight and all these other things in it. But 100% of the proceeds go to Snowcap.
That's great.
And so Focus Branding bought the bags, paid for the thing, so that was their donation, plus
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And then people get something fun, but they're also
$5,
contributing. And-
yeah.
that's wonderful.
And so that kind of, you know, raising those kind of pounds will take care of Snowcap for a long time during the year. And there's so many other needs that the people that Snowcap services. They do utility assistance also. They do education programs. They do teach people how to garden.
Yeah,
you
that
know, and so
community
forth.
garden.
So-
Yeah.
So there's a lot of other things that they can worry about in our community without having to worry about raising the money for the food.
This is important, and it's wonderful for people in the community to be taking care of each other. You know, because you never know when it could be you.
Well, another thing too is, and people who aren't familiar with Snowcap, first off, they don't take any government funding, and they've been around for maybe 45, 46 years now. But 93% of all the money you donate goes back to the people. So they have a
And that's
7%,
important.
7% overhead, which is pretty good, I think. I mean, and
it's
it's because they have so
amazing.
many darn
Don't you wish you had
volunteers.
7%
Because,
overhead? Yeah.
It's amazing. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's,
quite
they're
frankly,
very well run. Very
And,
well
and because
organized.
they're such a good organization, they got Bess and I up here talking about them. This is free to them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty. Judy probably should be CEO of the year. I mean, she's at home right now watching this,
Judy's
going,
pretty awesome.
doing this,
Judy's
like,
pretty
oh,
awesome,
you know,
yeah.
I got. But I mean, that's what's so neat about that is they have such a good reputation. They've done so much good that Bess and I will take time out of our evening to be here to talk about them.
Yeah.
And
I thought you just want to see me.
Well, that was.
Disappointed.
I didn't want
And
to
you know,
say
we're
that
almost out of
live.
time. So what else do we need to know before we shut this off? Bess?
well, again, just really important. There's a lot of collection places around the community. And so if you need to clean out your pantry and get rid of, you know, some of those cans that you just don't have
That
a
you
need
never-
for,
yeah.
that you don't have a need for, or you've gone on some new diet and you want to get it out of your house, please drop that off. But if you're looking to buy food, if you want to go to the store, buy baby food or
Yep.
buy those
Yeah.
kinds of things that they
Baby food
can't get at the
formula.
Oregon Food
Otherwise,
Bank.
money would be a great.
Otherwise, money, and no donation is too small. And there's, you know, again, I want to read the, you know, always you can drop it by Gresham Ford, Gresham Outlook. If they brought it here to Metro
Oh,
East
we
Media,
get it to the right place.
they'll
Get it
get
there.
it to the right place. You know, the city of Gresham has a jar. You know, there's a lot of places throughout the community that you could drop it off. And so, just again, it, you know, it's so, I think it's so important what you said, Monica, is that we can take care of our own in our own communities.
Okay.
And it's so important.
Well, I hate to cut you off, but we are out of time. So
Okay.
I hope everybody got the message. I think they did. Thank you so much,
welcome.
Casey. And thank you,
Thanks.
Bess,
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Yep.
Thank you.
And we'll be seeing you around the community and hoisting those bags and
fill
opening
bags.
up those envelopes of money.
Yep.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Thank you,
holidays.
thank you. And don't go away, we'll be right back. We've had a couple of organizations that are sort of community oriented but really focused on the holiday season. Now we're going to be talking with an organization that is a total different area, but something you need to be paying close attention to. So we'll be right back with the Bus Project.
KZME Radio is a new station that is committed to entertain, inspire, and connect our community through programming that celebrates local music, arts, and culture. It was created to put local music and local arts on local radio, and it is a vehicle for our creative community to gain exposure while also celebrating what the Portland metro area has to offer.
Hey folks, I'm Mike Midlow from the band Pancake Breakfast. What's so cool about KZME? Well, it's local music. You know, you can't go to every live show. Believe me, I've tried. So you could tune into KZME and hear a bunch of music that you might not get to see otherwise. Why should you support KZME? Well, it's pretty obvious. I mean, if you like Portland Town, USA, homegrown music, independent radio, and if you believe in the powers of rock and roll, then contribute to KZME. It's music where you live.
For more information on how to support and get involved with 107.1 FM KZME Radio, see our website, www.1071fm.org. KZME Radio, music where you live.
Community television is what participatory democracy is about.
Like my friend Laird Ross says, it's the last great American soapbox.
It gives me a voice.
I'm glad it's available.
It's incredibly important to protect a place where all users of locally based nonprofit media have a place to speak and share their stories.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander.
It's not his new group of friends. It's not the video games. It's not the neighborhood.
Mom, do I have to go to school today?
The biggest threat to your child's future could be you. Every day they miss, even in middle school, puts their graduation at risk.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs of autism.
Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And now for my last guest on this show tonight, we're going to be talking with the Bus Project, an organization that's been around for quite a while, has done some amazing things, and we now have a brand new executive director who is going to be telling us all about the things that are going on at the Bus Project. Tara Solzhen, so nice to have you here.
Thanks so much for having me and inviting me.
So how long have you been at the Bus Project now?
Well, I've been...
As far as executive director, I'll ask it that way.
I've been the new executive director for about 3 weeks now,
Wow.
but I've been on the bus for about 6.5 years.
Wow. So when you say on the bus, tell us what that means.
Well, for me, that means I came to Oregon to be a Politicor Fellow with the Oregon Bus Project in 2007. Right
And that's
from
a program of the Bus Project.
Yes, so we have a program that helps train college students and recent college graduates in organizing and voter engagement. And so I heard about the Bus Project and about Politicor and came here, and I've been volunteering and involved ever since.
Wow. How long has the Bus Project been in existence?
We were started in 2002, as you'll see over here on our bus window.
Oh yes, your bus window, yes.
Yes, and we do have a bus, actually 2 of them. And so I'm the 3rd executive director and have, like I said, I've been paying attention to the bus for a while.
That's great. Now, the people that are involved in the Politicor program, are these all kids who are political science majors, or people that want to get have a career in politics for the most part, or are there just people from all sort of different backgrounds and interests?
Definitely across the spectrum of interests. We bring on 20 to 24 fellows each summer. We've been doing the program for about 8 years now. And we specifically look to recruit students who might not want to be politicians or go into politics, but are interested in making a change in their communities, organizing, specifically very interested in social justice issues. And we work to train them as leaders in their communities. And then also, in addition to that intensive boot camp type training program, we also have a program called Year of Service that follows up on that program for about half of the fellows each year. We help place them in organizations and public sector type careers. So we give them that extra support they need. And I was actually one of the first Year of Service fellows when we started that program. So I care very deeply about helping them connect to the community.
So really, this is it's a great way to build leadership skills, I imagine, and to get a career. I mean, really, the skills you would learn in that would be amazing in just about any job, I would imagine.
Absolutely. The BUS alumni network is very large at this point. A lot of people have come through the organization, whether or not they've actually worked there or been through Politicor, one of our official training programs. We really were built by volunteers who got together and recognized that there was no group that was specifically advocating for young people in the 18 to 35 sense. There's the AARP, there's groups that advocate for children. I'm just going through the interest groups, but so they came together to focus on what can we do as volunteers to promote volunteerism, to get more people involved civically, and we have a bunch of leadership programs that help support that pipeline, but it's a growing network, so you see this button all over the place, I'd imagine.
You mentioned the alumni. There has been a pretty notable group of people that have come out of it. I mean, people have gone on to do some pretty amazing things in their communities, haven't they? I was looking on your website. I was like, wow, there's some names there that I recognize. People that have been involved in the bus project, and there really are buses. That's what I remember years ago when I first heard about the bus project. How fun is that? They get out in buses and they actually go out. And so you've done that, I assume, probably numerous times.
Yeah, I can't even count the number of actual official bus trips I've been on our bus. We like to say we drive votes, we drive leaders, we drive change, and yes, we have a bus.
That's so fun.
And so we load it up with volunteers and go knock on doors for issues where we know we can make a meaningful impact with our volunteer time. Or we load them up and bring them down to Salem to talk with legislators and get more of a grassroots presence in the building to make sure that it's not just a bunch of paid lobbyists and that we're bringing young people to talk about issues that care about them to their legislators.
Is this a nonpartisan group?
Yes, we're a nonpartisan organization.
Okay. So you talked about the Politicor, which is sort of an extensive program. What is it?
Boot camp.
Boot camp. But people, if they want to be involved, they don't have to go in that deep, right? They can just become a volunteer and hop on the bus.
Yeah,
How
so
does
we
that
have
work?
a few different other programs going on. So in the 3 categories I just mentioned, so we drive votes. We do work to make sure that all Oregonians who are eligible to vote can get a ballot. And so we do that through registering voters. We have huge volunteer voter registration days, but we work to get young people specifically registered to vote who aren't as used to that process. And so we'll go out to breweries or concerts and
places where you're going to find
where you find young people, and we register voters, and it's a very volunteer-driven event. So when people want to get involved, they might come and help us register voters, or when an election's coming up, we're calling through those same voters and others, reminding them to vote. And do you have a plan? Do you know where to turn your ballot in?
That's great, because a lot of people don't. I mean, there's been enough changes in the voting system in the last few years that, especially probably older people, but all sorts of people are confused as to what they need to do. But it's so much easier to register to vote now.
It is, and it's not as easy as it could be. In some states there are more barriers than there are in Oregon. But here we are committed to working on the policy change to make sure that those who are eligible are registered and able to vote. And so in addition to reminding people to vote, we're making sure we're down there in Salem and talking with county clerks, county administrators, saying there should really be more ballot drop sites in one place or another.
Yeah,
So
I'll go along with that, the ballot drop sites.
So we're always looking for volunteers who are interested in these issues and care about access to democracy, because it's we can't do it alone. And so that's one of our issues. One other thing we do is, you'll see on my t-shirt, it's actually, so the week before the election, conveniently enough, Halloween falls during that week. And so that's the one night of the year that people expect a knock on their door.
That's
and so
true.
We
That's
have
true.
every year, this started in Oregon, and now it's actually a national effort in cities across the country. We have Trick or Vote, where you're never
I didn't
too
realize
old.
that started here.
Yeah, so you're never too old to trick or treat, trick or vote. And we knock on doors and just remind people to vote, to turn in their ballots. And so we knock on thousands of doors every Halloween, just saying, do you have your ballot? Do you remember where to turn in? Here's a nonpartisan voter guide if you're hoping to vote down the ballot. Because there's so many issues, especially young people just don't know, oh, Soil Water Conservation District, I don't know about that.
It's overwhelming and it's very confusing sometimes.
Right, but that's the pipeline to getting more leaders elected. So you start in one place, and same with local issues. So we work to make sure they understand what's on the ballot.
So how young do you start working with kids or young adults?
Well, we have a program in high schools called Democracy Cup, because one issue that the bus had worked on down in Salem is helping to pass pre-registration. So you can register to vote.
What does that mean?
So you register to vote when you're at 18, you can start voting then, but many people who are younger than 18 can pre-register to make sure that they have access to a ballot and they're ready to vote beforehand. And so
that everything's lined up, so when they turn 18, boom, they're good to go.
Exactly, because we already have the information about them, they're ready. And so part of the work that we do is working in high schools, teaching civics education programs, because like I said, we don't just register students to vote, we want them to be more engaged in their communities, volunteer, pay attention to what's happening in government, put a more positive spin on it. There's so much conflict that we try and take the positive route. And so we train volunteers and mentors to give these presentations in high schools and empower students to run their own voter registration drives.
That's great, and students are going to listen to each other.
Yeah, exactly. We know the most effective way to get someone to vote is to ask them to, and they're more likely to vote and learn about the issues if a peer is asking them.
Well, if they're interested in them, they have these conversations. It's great.
Exactly.
I think you brought a picture. I don't know if they've shown it yet, but there was a picture of the bus with all these people in front of it, and it just looks like so much fun. So, it's not just all work? It's fun too.
No, it's very fun, and that was
there's
the whole.
The group there.
Yeah, that's us in Salem last year. Us meaning not me, but the rest of the bus. We call ourselves a family. So we'll bring it down and load it up with volunteers and other folks to go down and talk with legislators. But yeah, we try to always have games on the bus and use it as an opportunity for people to meet one another. And I really see us as kind of a creative hub for young people. That this is where the bus project is where you come kind of in between campaigns. Like maybe there's a big issue campaign that you're really excited about, but this will continue to be interesting and innovative for young people to come and say, all right, I want to make a change in my community. So
great. I think it's great to start them young.
Yeah.
So what do you have like big plans to make any huge changes, or you like the way it's going and you just want to keep it going now as you?
Well, in terms of where we're going, my first few weeks getting started, so 2014 will be a big election year in Oregon. There's a lot of potential issues on the ballot, and
controversial stuff.
Exactly.
And the candidates too are going to be. It's going to be
and so
heated year.
There's a lot to keep track of, and we know right now we will be registering voters. As you just saw, we registered more than 14,000 in 2012, and so we continue
14,000 voters? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so we do that very much through volunteers, through the Politicore Fellows. Politicore actually, they get to build their own field plan and decide specifically what they're working on and how they're going to accomplish those goals, how many doors are they going to knock on, how many voters they're going to talk to. So they register some core amount of that, but we will, in 2014, we'll definitely be working to make sure that young people are educated and engaged on the many complicated ballot measures that will be out there. I've heard a lot of issues trickling up so far, and we'll see which actually qualify. But I know that it's something I'm committed to ensuring that Oregon continues to be a leader in getting young people to turn out at the ballot and to vote down the ballot as well.
It's so depressing when you hear the voter turnout. You know, the figures. It's like, well, what's, you know, I don't get it. It's not hard to vote, especially when you can vote by mail here.
Yeah.
I mean, how tough is that?
Exactly. There's just a lot of things to keep track of. And so for 2014, I am committed to the model we have now of driving votes, driving leaders through leadership development programs, and driving change, making sure that in addition to these field efforts and voter mobilization, we're also looking for that slate of issues that really impact young people, what they care about most, and seeing how we can help spur those along through our policy work. One other thing we have for 2014 is a conference that we've done every other year called Rebooting Democracy, to make sure that organizers have the skills they need to go forth. So I'm excited about that too.
Good. You know, we're almost out of time, but I do want to mention that I heard that you were bestowed some great honor as what was it? One of the 30
Rising Stars.
Rising Stars.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, because before we close the show.
Portland Monthly, actually, they, as part of their Light a Fire Awards, they selected a group of 30 rising stars in the Portland metro region who work to support building change in their communities. And so I got to go to the Light a Fire Awards dinner last night with many other young innovators, and I was just honored to be part of the group.
Congratulations! That is a great honor, but how great to know you're making a difference, and actually that somebody recognizes it too. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
It's
Congratulations!
pretty fun.
Well, I'm
thank
so
you.
glad to have you here today, and you've got your work cut out for you, because you know there's always people that are pushing back, don't want to become involved in any way, but this is it's a great organization. So thanks so much for being here, Tara.
Thank you, and feel free to plug into the bus project.
Yeah, check out the website, and we know how to find you.
Great.
Thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us here on Community Hotline. I hope that if you are a young person and you're interested, even if you're not interested, maybe you should check it out. Find out about the Bus Project. You might be very pleasantly surprised at what you can learn and the friends you can make and the connections you can make in this community. I appreciate you watching this show. We hope that you are spurred on to be involved with your community and make a difference. I'm Monica Weitzel. Thanks for watching Community Hotline.